You're listening to the New York Sports Show, the #1 all New York sports podcast. Hosted by Dominic Konareski.
The Toronto Blue Jays are just one win away from being part of forever in what has been quite possibly one of the greatest World Series in recent years, where we have seen an 18-inning game, offensive onslaughts with multiple home runs in the same inning, along with true pitching dominance at times from both sides. Way better than what we saw last year with the Yankees and Dodgers. But when you really think about the New York Yankees situation, it gets even more dismal and dire. So yes, the Yankees made the World Series last year, first time since 2009 they've had an appearance. Obviously, they lost. They were only able to muster together one win, which came in the Bronx, but also allowed the Los Angeles Dodgers to clinch and win the World Series in the Bronx as well. So you have New York playing in the background as Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani are drinking champagne in the away team's locker room. And that's the biggest thing. You have teams celebrating at Yankee Stadium that aren't named the New York Yankees. The Yankees have lost their fight. They are no longer the evil empire anymore. Heck, they have not been the evil empire, in my opinion, since the mid to late 2000s. Yes, they had the whole baby bomber stuff going on, and now all those baby bombers are either out of the league on different teams or they are older now, like Aaron Judge, who has been unarguably one of the greatest players to ever sport pinstripes and yet has been a flop in the playoffs, at least up here until 2025. But the Yankees are no longer feared. I mean, you have most recently ALDS this season against the Blue Jays, the team that is now in the World Series, but not to mention a really long time division rival, division foe, celebrating, singing New York, New York after they clinch it. We're at Yankee Stadium. I mean, that ALDS series against Toronto, it was embarrassing for New York. Well, pitching just absolutely collapsed, and the offense was inconsistent. Now, I could get on every single player individually. That may require its own video. I don't think I will, though. But more so, just really think about it. Think about where the league was in 2009 when the Yankees won the World Series and where the league is now in 2025, where the Yankees have only made one World Series appearance since '09, where they got absolutely embarrassed. You got the Houston Astros jump from the National League to American League, where they were irrelevant for a number of years. Yes, they cheated, but they are still a dominant team to this day. They still won World Series. The Los Angeles Dodgers have become one of the biggest rivals of the New York Yankees. They have taken a lot of players that New York has tried to acquire in free agency. They are now in their second World Series in 2 years. You had the Texas Rangers go from being a dominant team to irrelevant, being a bottom feeder, now being a somewhat average at points dominant team. You have the Boston Red Sox that went from being a very solid team to being a bottom feeder for a number of years to being a mid-tier team to now being one of the best teams in the American League. And then you have the Baltimore Orioles, who even at their lowest of lows, where they were losing over 100 games in a single season, still managed to beat up and dominate over the New York Yankees, no matter who was home and away. They went from losing hundreds of games in a few year span to then being a dominant team to now being a somewhat bottom feeder, just below average team, but nonetheless, they have developed their prospects way greater, far greater than what the New York Yankees have done in recent years with players such as Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells, and Oswald Peraza. Peraza's even on the team anymore. He was on the Angels to end the season. And then you could even say Everson Pereira, who is now on the Tampa Bay Rays. And who else? Oh yeah, The Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, just think about it. The Toronto Blue Jays were not a relevant team really for nearly a straight decade, 10 years of irrelevancy since Jose Bautista's bat flip. And now here they are, one win away from a World Series. I mean, just imagine being so content that the Yankees front office is and expecting a different result with the same moves that you make year after year. That is the definition of insanity. That is. Say what you want about Aaron Boone. At the end of the day, he's a puppet. He is. Because he's doing what the front office, what all the analytic nerds are telling him to do. That's why Joe Girardi was not brought back. That was a very big reason. Not the sole reason, but that was a very big reason. Why? Because Girardi actually managed the team himself. He held his players accountable. Aaron Boone doesn't do that. He coddles them. He makes excuses for them. The players feel far too comfortable playing under Boone because they know there won't be any repercussions. And say what you want about Clint Frazier. I can't stand Clint Frazier with the way he has badmouthed the Yankees. But in his recent podcast episodes, he has been spot on with the Yankees front office and their idea of doing things. The Yankees don't think you're good at baseball. They think that you're lucky. Everything is based off of analytics, which leads to every type of managerial decision Boone has done in game. Because nobody with even an ounce of active brain matter would think bringing Nestor Cortez, who had not pitched in over a month, who was throwing in shorts just a week or two prior, would bring him into game one of the World Series. The Yankees are a joke. They've been a joke now. I mean, they do so much to make it seem like they're good, but in reality, they go on a 2.5 to 3 month slump. All simultaneously, seems to be every season now going back to what? 2019? And the amount of injuries New York has faced, what the hell is the training staff even doing? It makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. Is anything gonna change now? No. And then on a serious note, I don't like Boone. I really, really dislike Boone. But who you gonna get? What manager out there? Because I don't want a rookie manager with this team. You're not gonna go out there and win the World Series with a 4-year manager. Who is out there with experience and a true rock hard resume of success that could replace Aaron Boone? Because as much as dislike Aaron Boone, I meant to say, because I do not like this man, not one bit. As much as I dislike Aaron Boone, those will be very hard shoes to fill. But at the same time, though, when I say that, I can't help but think about the matter of, is it really that hard to fill shoes that are already tied for you and that you get help to walk in? Comment down below what you guys think. I'm Dominic Honoreski. Take it easy, folks.